So this is a quick overview of how Viva Insight helps us solve this conundrum of modern work. And again, that conundrum of modern work is just the stress and the complexity that our organizations are now under, based on all the transition that's gone on from 2019 forwards, and the continuous overlay of new systems and tools, which are forcing individuals just to be overwhelmed with the amount of information that we have to process. And funnily enough, even though it's information that's causing the problem, it's information that helps us solve it. The solution to modern work and helping employees perform better is all about pattern recognition. There's all sorts of data that we pick up from the day-to-day activities, what we call the breadcrumbs of good behavior, that we can take a look at to give us insights. And there's three major stakeholders that need these insights. One is the employee. And the employee needs to be able to take a look at how they're spending their time and be able to actively avoid burnout, figure out, when they're working after hours, what level of coaching that they're getting, are they setting the right amount of focus time, and get some nudges from the system to help them close those gaps. Then they need to be able to find what are their own personal best practices. What does it look like? What's the ideal meeting look for them? What meetings should they go to? Which ones should they avoid? How is it that they collaborate most effectively? Is it phone, in-person, Teams, etc.? How do they get that focus time and overall time management? And then finally, how do they build that well-being, which is about being mindful, about meditation, about creating those spaces for recharging. So the employee needs access to their own activities so that they can do their own self-help. But their manager, their leader, needs the same information. Now, we need to make sure it's privatized and all that kind of good stuff, but they need access to that information so that they can make informed decisions too, that they can help their overall team avoid burnout. What's it look like for them? They need to monitor who's working after hours and who they're providing the right coaching to and who's taking that focus time that they should be allocating to themselves. And they've got to figure out what are the best practices. They need to look across their various teams to find out who's performing better and why. And look across time to see where the teams have performed better, what time of the year, what time of the day. And then lastly, there's human resources that needs to help develop some of these processes and practices. And they need to be able to sort of assess work itself. So, what I call HR by the numbers. They need to discover what are the enhancers to productivity, engagement, and work, and what are the detractors, and how is it they need to work to make your version of hybrid work. They need to figure out how to build engagement, how to develop that culture and these new norms. And finally, they need to figure out how to make HR systems far more agile so they can react faster than the speed of change that their employees are enduring. And those three stakeholders, luckily enough, can be supported by what Viva Insights brings to the table. So we need two core things. One is Viva Goals. Goals allows us to translate your strategy into action. So people know what they should be working on, what their priorities are, and what are the activities, what are the measures of success. And from there, we can use insights. We can take a look at their day-to-day activities and see how well they line up with those goals and those key results, and begin providing the analytics that we've just talked about on this slide. Now, to help make that happen, we need both Glint and Pulse to be able to capture that employee feedback. And then finally, we need Teams Premium so that we've got that AI-powered tools to enable better collaboration and both synchronous and asynchronous meetings, etc. And that's what we're driving towards with the Viva modules.